Hi guys, well done for finishing today's lesson. Here are some take-homes.
Number 1.
Mrs. Birling's crime or unkindness against Eva Smith has now been revealed. She used her power and influence to convince other members of the charitable organisation she's a member of to refuse assistance to Eva Smith, who, pregnant and lone and desperate, turned to the organisation for help. Mrs. Birling admits being prejudiced against Eva because Eva had introduced herself as Mrs. Birling. This really highlights Mrs. Birling's pomposity and snobbishness. She was so offended and insulted that a lower or working class person would dare use her surname that she turned a desperate young woman away when she easily could have helped her. Mrs. Birling's actions are extremely shocking for the audience.
Number 2.
During Inspector Gould's questioning of Mrs. Birling, she, just like her husband, refuses to accept any responsibility or blame for her actions. She is stubbornly remorseless and quick to lay the blame upon others. She repeatedly and explicitly refuses to acknowledge her wrongdoings. She says, "I did nothing I'm ashamed of. I've done nothing wrong. I accept no blame for it at all." It's hugely significant that Priestley presents both members of the older generation, Mr. and Mrs. Birling, as unwilling to change or to become more socially responsible. He's showing his 1945 audience that hope for the future of Britain for a more equal and caring society lies with the younger generation. Perhaps he believes that the older generation are too stuck in their old ways.
Number 3.
Right at the end of Act 2, Priestley explosively reveals that Eric Birling was the young man responsible for Eva Smith's pregnancy. With skillful writing and stagecraft, Priestley uses dramatic irony to present Mrs. Birling as foolish because while Sheila is quick to realise that Eric was the father of Eva's unborn child, Mrs. Birling is slow to realise and even begins to condemn the young man responsible without comprehending that she is condemning her own son. It's not a coincidence that Priestley has used dramatic irony to make both Mr. Birling, remember his predictions about the Titanic and war, and now Mrs. Birling appear foolhardy and idiotic to the audience. Priestley is showing his audience that age does not necessarily mean wisdom, and wealth and status do not determine how intelligent or honourable a person is.
20 years ago, we could turn the numbers back by hand. But here, take my hat. But the feds like to test the ingenuity of the American businessman. Two-directional drill. You run it backwards, the numbers go down. Watch your speedometer.
Cool.
See?
Yeah. Daddy, you're a crook.
What?
This is illegal.
Yeah, keep drilling. Do you make money? Do you have a job?
No, but don't people need good cars? Can't you sell good cars, Dad?
Listen, you little wiseacre. I'm smart, you're dumb. I'm big, you're little. I'm right, you're wrong. And there's nothing you can do about it. Phew. Whoa.